I have to go grab my bong anyway. It's going to be our first comment on this pod. Actually, go grab my bong.
Yeah, go grab it. I'll talk.
Yeah. Welcome, Podcast Dreamers Sixers. I'll leave you guys with Johnny. I need to step away for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Welcome back, boys. Sorry about last week, no show. That's on me. I had some shit going on. So that's not on Zach. Don't blame him. But we're back. We're going to get into the stuff we missed. Obviously, starting with a quick Super Bowl recap. It's been forever, it feels like, since then. You know, dealing with the Super Bowl hangover as most all sports fans, football fans do. Going to this mini depression after the Super Bowl. This little lull, you know, with no football at all. The first Sunday without football was tough. Now we're getting into the second Sunday without football. You know, and to be honest, it was a shit game. Unless you're an Eagles fan, I don't think anyone really was watching that game really all that excited. The Eagles dominated. The final score was nowhere close to indicative of how much of a blowout the game really was. Mahomes' final stats are nowhere close to indicating how he played. It was just a dominant effort from the Eagles. Absolute beatdown. Everyone, you know, talking about Mahomes chasing Brady. I think the one thing that stands out is that Mahomes' 2 Super Bowl losses are by a combined total of 42 points. And like we said, it should be an even bigger differential than that, or 44 points. I don't know. He is like a losing plus minus in Super Bowls, even though he's 3-2 in them, because he got absolutely dominated. I mean, that first half, they could not move the ball at all.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Eagles. Obviously, me and Zach both hate the Eagles. Diehard Cowboys fan, diehard Giants fan. I live out here. I got a lot of friends, though. I've been trying to keep the mentality of, you know, I am happy for my friends who are happy and not such a miserable dick. And I've been splitting that like 50-50. Like, you know, I am fucking furious. I hate the Eagles. I hate what they built. Howie Roseman. Hopefully Zach Bond is asking for a ton of money, you know, and they either got to pay him or he gets out of Dodge and Sweat.
Yep.
You know, obviously also. So we'll see how it goes. But again, their guys are so young and they draft well, and they, you know, they're going to be a good team for a little while here. And, you know, and shout out to Jalen Hurts, you know, a guy I give a lot of, you know, flack to. Played a hell of a game, you know, made some big throws. Had made a great throw that got called back on a questionable call right at the beginning of the game also.
Right.
You know, just played a hell of a game. I mean, you know, can't take it away from him. Stepped up and did what he had to do, delivered, you know, and he delivered in the last Super Bowl as well, to be fair. But, you know, final takeaway, the NFL season, the Eagles dominated. You know, once they got healthy, they had those 2 losses earlier in the season, I think, to Tampa Bay. You know, I can't think of the other one.
Another early loss, like they were 2-2 to start the year.
They lost to Atlanta also was the other one.
Yeah.
But even against Tampa Bay, they didn't have Lane Johnson.
Right.
And the 2 top wide receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. When they lost to Washington, Hurts got hurt in the first quarter. You know, they basically lost 1 game with full strength. But then again, everybody gets hurt. So they were also remarkably healthy compared to all the other teams.
I was going to say that. Yeah, that was going to be one of my points, is that the injury bug kind of stayed away from that team the entire year. That's one thing. And then, if anything, it kind of got in their favor when they started getting guys back, like Brandon Graham, who were maybe not expected to play in the Super Bowl and stuff like that, just different juice that they were able to get. I think the main thing that I could take away, 2 things. One, this is like an example of how we talk about before, how great quarterbacks make teams and their players around them better. Like when you're a great quarterback and you're like Tom Brady and you make guys go to a different level when they play with you. They could be a B receiver, a B- receiver, but they go to B+, A- when they play with that great quarterback. I think the Hurts thing is opposite. I think this is what we see when you have an incredible roster around a good quarterback who then has the opportunity to be great. Because, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of the throws that Hurts makes, even though he played very well, and I'm still giving him his flowers, he played incredibly, most of those throws are very repetitive in a way. Like the throws are like they're usually streak throws or crossing routes. He really doesn't have a ton of nuance to the way he throws. He doesn't really make like exorbitant amounts of like next level throws to me. A lot of his, like the throw to Devontae for the touchdown was like, you're up 27 points. You just got to put it in the bucket. It's like a practice throw almost at that point, because you're fucking ripping them like in the face. Like, so part of me feels like that's a great throw. Obviously, it's in the bucket. He's got to give him credit. No question. I'm not taking credit away. But the other part of it is it's like, he makes a lot of the atypical throws that you need to make in order to be successful, but he also has guys like AJ Brown that get separation. So this is the main point I wanted to say, is that like this is a great example of a good quarterback being great because he's surrounded by greatness, versus the idea of a great quarterback surrounded by good and making everyone around him better per se and elevating the team. I think the team was already there and they're just waiting for Hurts's passing ability to get there, and he got there when they needed it, and he played out of his mind. So he didn't turn the ball over. That's the main thing. When he doesn't turn the ball over, he's basically unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stand on a lot of things that I said about Hurts in the past too. I still don't think, like you're almost saying, that he doesn't throw guys open or make terrific throws over the middle.
Right.
It is a lot down the field in one-on-one situations. Has great players to throw the ball to. Has time to throw the ball. I think this game in particular, the Chiefs' strategy was shut down Saquon Barkley, which they did. He had 20-something carries for less than 60 yards. Yeah. So he's less than 2 or 3 yards a carry. They really held him in check. And
they didn't hold Hurts in check, though. If you look at the rushing stats for Hurts, he's probably averaging 5 to 6 yards a carry. So, like, as a whole team of rushing, the stats really still didn't play.
I don't necessarily count like the scrambles, because there's a lot of like third down and then run for 15 yards. They were like loading
an essential run. Yeah.
Like so on passing downs, they were maybe more set up to stop those throws down the field, have an extra safety over the top. But then Hurts would take off, making good decisions. Played a great game. When
no one on this pod is taking credit away from Hurts. I was more talking about the idea that the roster was ready. He was a good quarterback, and he was able to elevate to be great because he's surrounded by greatness. And that's what you need to do when you want to win. And so I'm not taking credit away from him. I'm just saying the circumstance is funny because it's kind of opposite to what I've seen in the past from quarterbacks like Brady, who will make guys like James White become invaluable, or you know what I mean, kind of that type.
Again, I stand on a lot of the things I've said about him in the past. I do think he's limited as a passer. I do think if they get behind in that game, like the game script played out perfectly because he played as well as he did, like credit to him. But at the same time, he thrives in that situation. Get out to a lead, have them have to stop the run. He everything played out perfectly, partly because of him, but like the other part because of how great his team is. The offensive line, giving him all day to throw, holding out Chris Jones.
Saquon threat to commit to Saquon.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris Jones looked a little banged up.
Coverage. Yep.
Chris Jones definitely was dealing with some injuries going into that game. It seemed like he seemed very limited. And the Eagles' defensive line was just, I think you said it on the podcast. They got to get pressure with 4, and I joked that's how you win every game, but they did.
That's exactly what they did. Yeah,
they did it because I was saying
boy that you were talking about, Milton, right? Milton.
My shout out to him. He played.
Shout out was probably the player of the game on defense. If it wasn't Gene's pick 6.
He was excellent. He's another guy they have to pay now too this offseason. So. Hopefully they lose a couple guys.
Player, right? 4th year, 5th year player, I think, right?
Yeah, he's going into free agency. Zach Bond, they only signed to 1 year, and that's the other Sweat. Josh Sweat.
Yeah, what's scary?
Saquon's got a decent deal. They paid Hurts a good amount of money. They paid Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Lane Johnson. They got guys that cost a lot of money on that team, and they got to save money to eventually re-sign Carter, DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Slay still makes decent money, so we'll see what happens here. But they might try to find the next Zach Bond. You know what I mean? They might be confident in their scouting. They could, maybe make it happen again.
Foolish. That would be so foolish. I would hope. We can only pray. But just as a wrap up of the whole NFL season, it was a.
Well, one thing I want to add real quick to the Super Bowl is also
what do you got?
The Chiefs now, they definitely got exposed a little bit. Mahomes. It looked. You almost thought after the Tampa Bay Super Bowl that he got better, but it was just showed that if you can do what Tampa Bay did in that first Super Bowl, do what the Eagles did in this Super Bowl, that you can beat them. They are beatable. They are superhuman, and they going into the future now. Obviously, they went 15-2. They made it back to the Super Bowl. They're still a dynasty. But this whole Mahomes versus Brady, this whole Andy Reid versus Belichick, they're still starting to, they're starting to crumble a little
Mahomes versus Brady, first of all, we're years away from even really doing this comparison because Mahomes is in the middle of his fucking career. He's in his 20s, I'm pretty sure, right? So it's what are you even talking about? But Brady has 2 Hall of Fame careers. We've talked about this. In his 20 to 30s and then 30s to 40s. It's insane. So you could slice his career in half. He still has 2 Hall of Fame careers. Mahomes is not there yet. So still shouts to Mahomes. it really felt like they were running out of gas too in a lot of ways towards the end, and they were kind of playing on fumes for a number of weeks now. And this is another case of them going down in the game. We talk about the going down and they come back and they love to play from behind type shit, and they play with fire like that. And I think they have to figure that out in the offseason about the offense and really understanding we need to score, and we need to score well. We need this meddling at 20 points, relying on our defense type shit is not going to get it done over a course of a season anymore, especially as these teams figure out how to beat you. And I think also the other thing I was thinking about just as like a wrap up the season is that next year, like, it's chalk again. Like I'm really trying to stray away from thinking the Chiefs and the Eagles are going to be the last two teams, but I'm trying to find other teams that I feel like could make a move on the Eagles. First of all, that roster is so good. If they even just get Sweat and Vaughn back, let's say just those two, and they were able to pay both those guys and go for it again, it's just scary to me. Like, I guess the Chiefs are threatened by the same old, but like until I see them beat, I don't believe you. And like, I want to believe that Josh Allen can take a step, but it's almost like the Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck thing. So it's like going to happen one time at one point in our lives against Brady, like type of thing. Like that's what we're looking at. So as much as I'm looking forward to the next NFL season, and this season was awesome, I'm just like, fuck, man, are we going to watch the same old fucking show next year? That's what I was thinking about.
No, we'll see. I mean, I think that you make a lot of good points. It's weird, like, to think about just like the turning what's that movie? Or like sliding doors moments of like, I heard Cooper DeJean talking about how like he thought he was going to the Rams or the Eagles, and it's like the Rams were the closest team to beating the Eagles in the playoffs. They lost by 6.
That's a big swing of a player, yeah.
You know what I mean, like if they take him, but then again they got Verse and Fisk, and
true.
Like they did good there too. So it's hard to tell exactly. But just to think like maybe the Eagles don't get DeJean. Like there's so many little things that go into it. But then again, you're right though. At the same time, because they absolutely blew the doors off the Chiefs, Washington, and the Packers in the first round. You know, like that was their only close playoff game. And even though it was close, they also were up 14 with like 3 minutes left. And then the Rams went down the field and scored. And then they went down the field again and almost scored, like after getting a stop. And you could argue that that only happened because of kind of bad coaching. But the thing that the Eagles are going to deal with, which kind of they dealt with after their last Super Bowl, is now their OC goes and becomes a head coach somewhere else. You know, they're going to have to figure it out.
You're talking about him being a head coach in New Orleans,
he's the Saints head coach.
Yeah,
Kellen Moore. They hired him already. So he'll be, so he'll be there. You know, like we saw Steichen leave in the first year without Steichen. Like they have to hit a home run on this OC hire. I don't think they can have Sirianni designing the offense, calling the plays. Like, and I guess we'll close out here unless you have more to add. But kind of give Sirianni his flowers a little bit. You know, I'm not a huge fan, obviously, but he did what he had to do this year. You know, he hired good coordinators along with Roseman and Laurie, obviously, and didn't get in the way or try to be like, I want my guys, whatever. They got rid of those 2 guys immediately that they had the year after the Super Bowl who stunk. You know, Brian Johnson, Desai, Patricia combination that really were bad coordinators, and they improved those guys.
Yep.
And Kellen Moore, and, you know, I think Kellen Moore did a good job. I think Fangio did a great job. And, you know, those 2 guys, obviously –
Fangio's they got last year, though, I'm pretty sure in the middle of the year, right?
No. They went from Sean Desai to Matt Patricia.
Oh, right. Okay.
Fangio in the offseason.
Right, that's right.
From the Dolphins. He was the Dolphins coordinator last year.
Right, that's right.
So he obviously did a great job with that defense, and it was almost like, you know, some old Spagnuolo Giants where it's like the first couple weeks they don't look great, but then once they settle into the system and really learn it, lock it down, the defense excelled. Was, you know, averaged less than 18 points a game allowed last year.
Stout at every level. It's just.
But you know the difference between the Super Bowl team, they lost their offense and defensive coordinator with Gannon and Steichen leaving. Right. This year they only lose Kellen Moore. They're going to have a lot of that young defense back and the coordinator back. And I do think it's important they make a good offensive coordinator hire. I don't know if they already hired someone, to be honest, but it's
I think
important.
They were talking about promoting someone from within. But I also. You know what's crazy? I just want to say, side note, like to the Saints, you saw who they hired for their DC. You talking about pasty ass fucking like the coordinators from hell are becoming the guys in the Saints organization. Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley and shit. Like that's crazy.
Well, Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore's a young, good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's young, good. Like I don't
think your head coach.
That's what I said. I was about to say. I wish the Cowboys hired him. You know, but it is weird to go from like OC for Brandon Staley, and now you're the head coach, and he's your defensive coordinator. But then again, they have chemistry. They work together. If they hated each other, he wouldn't have signed him. You know what I mean? So he thinks.
No, that was like a one and done interview. That was a guy that came in, interviewed. He said exactly what the rest of the guys wanted to hear, and he was like, "Well, I'm being good for this because I love Brandon." So
yeah, exactly. So, all right, but moving on, I'm excited for the next season. Obviously, Chiefs. Eagles are Super Bowl favorites, and the Chiefs are got to be right behind them. But hopefully, other teams step up. But I know you had something you want to talk about. Obviously,
sure,
close to home for you. So I'll let you set it off.
Yeah, man. So obviously this past weekend we had the NBA All-Star game. My fiance was able to get tickets for that, so we actually got to go, which was great. So there's like a lot of events going on in the area out in the Bay. There was like some things going on outside. They actually had the TNT crew, like the B crew, which is more of my favorite crew, kind of, because it was Vince Carter, Jalen Rose, some cool guys on that panel. So I was kind of yelling for them and getting their attention and stuff as we were standing outside. And then we went in and, the festivities got kicked off, and we have to go through this a little bit. So first of all, just as a macrocosm, the ratings for the All-Star game and the slam dunk competition for Saturday and Sunday are the two lowest rated events in NBA history. Okay. So that's insane to say in this day and age with the amount of possible viewers that are out there to be had. With the amount of people that have televisions in their homes now, multiple televisions in their home, the idea that you could have your lowest rated performances in an All-Star weekend speaks to malpractice. It speaks to being deaf to what the fans want, and it just speaks to lack of creativity. They tried to invoke the same tournament that they had for the Rising Stars last year in the All-Star format this year. So essentially it was like this. They had the game of the Rookie Challenge versus the sophomores on Friday. The winner of that would play Shaq's team, Shaq's OGs, which was a team filled of Curry, Kyrie, LeBron, who didn't end up playing, KD, whatever. And then the other side was Barkley's team, so it's a whole TNT thing, versus Kenny's team. And you could tell that one team was like the Euro players and the other team was like more like a young gun team. But there was so much downtime between each game. That's one. The games played to 40 without a clock. So it became like a Chuck turnover fest because there was no pressing time to get to the mark or like anything. There was no like reason to go fast. These guys were kind of just lollygagging around the court, like really, really abhorrent behind the back passes that are just flying in any direction, just like a lot of nonsensical basketball being played. That's very frustrating for basketball viewers to watch. And I got to tell you, the average ticket of this fucking place, people are watching. We got lucky. It was like part of this raffle thing that Christy got, so our tickets were discounted through her job. So I don't want to get into what our tickets price was. They were substantially lower than the normal cost. But we looked in our section while we were sitting in our section waiting for everything to start because we got there 2 hours early. I was like, it's All-Star game. Like, I want to walk around the stadium. I want to see if I see some celebrities. I want to see some All-Stars. It was, first of all, it was silent in the stadium. It felt like there were 40 people in the stadium 2 hours before an All-Star game, which is absolutely wild to me. But beyond that, so we got to go to the lower section, like go to different areas before we went to our seats, which was in the upper deck. But so we got to walk around the stadium, take pictures, whatever, this and that. Bro, I can't even like get into how boring the whole thing was. And it's like, I didn't want to say it because it was expensive and I know everyone around us probably can hear me and I'm kind of loud. But I'm like turning to Christy sometimes like, what's going on here? And she's like, I don't know. It's just so much downtime. Like, it just feels like everyone's falling asleep. Like, the crowd was quiet. When
there was no, like, concerts or anything in between?
There was after the first game. There was, like, after the first match, there was, like, the slam dunkers that jump off trampolines shit, the atypical halftime performance. Then they had another one where these two people, like, held on to each other and spun in a circle in the middle of the court on the stage, and it was like they were on rollerblades. But there was no,
like, Mariah Carey. Like, remember Mariah Carey did, like, a halftime?
That happened at the end. They had, like, a Bay Area thing. So they had Too Short and E40 come out. Fire. It was actually fire.
I'll give them the very end after the last game?
That was the halftime or that was between the semifinal game and the final game.
All right. So I'm gonna go like this because I didn't watch a second of any of it. I had no interest And
I
I'm
want to
talking
go back to Saturday, and I have an idea for Saturday too.
And I'm talking about All-Star game. I'm talking about skills challenge. I'm talking about 3-point contest. I'm talking about rising stars. I'm talking about celebrity game. I didn't watch a second, so I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna try to like ask you some questions. Get into it.
You're a better person.
First off, I'm seeing there's 3 teams here. So how did they even decide?
That's what I was saying. So, Chad,
there's 4. It looks like there's young stars.
First team, John, was based on the Rising Stars game on Fridays.
Okay, I heard something about that. All right. So the young stars are just the Rising Stars best players.
Didn't get an introduction. They introduced all those players as just players.
Yeah.
They were just standing there on the other side of the court, awkwardly with no light on them, and then a light automatically went on them randomly, and they were like, so these are the Rising Stars. And that was it. I looked at Chrissy, I go, what the fuck just happened?
And then there were Shaq's OGs, and then Candace is Candace Parker, I'm assuming?
That was her. She was the Rising Stars coach.
And then Shaq's OGs, and then Chuck's Global Stars, it says. So I guess he tried to go more Europe-y.
Wemby.
Okay.
That team is the team that made the final against Shaq's OGs. So they got the chalk that they wanted. Imagine the Rising Stars win that fucking game. They had a chance, too. It would have been Rising Stars versus some fucking European legends.
But it looks like Candace's Rising Stars isn't the Rising Stars, like, from the Rising Stars game. Like, there's the young stars that played Chuck's team, and then there's Candace's Rising Stars. So I'm guessing that's, like, young NBA. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Stars are superstars that are rising. So they put
Chuck's was Global Stars, and then Candace.
I mean Kenny's. Kenny's was Rising Stars with, like, Brunson and, like, guys like
Kenny just didn't put his name on it, is what it's looking like.
Got it.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
The Rising Stars is legit from Friday. That's Candace's. Kenny's is like a name toward the real All-Star still from their team. That could be
he said young. Why? Even just having one of them called
don't.
Even one of them being called Young Stars and one of them being called Rising Stars is fucking stupid.
Christy said that she's like, so which one's the Young Stars again?
Yeah,
Rising.
Yeah, that's so fucking dumb. Especially when Shaq did. Shaq was the only one who like understood the assignment. His says
OGs, and like
everyone else's name ends in stars. Like,
and you know what? His name was perfect for his team because they are all OGs.
Yeah, and there's but everything else is like it's like a mouthful. The Global Stars versus the Rising Stars versus the Young Stars.
Okay, I'm living there because every player on that team was basically European. St. Green was on that team too, who's my boy. Yeah. Like, it was a cool team.
But it could be like Chuck's Global Squad. You know what I mean? Just to not have stars in 3 of the 4 names. Like that verbiage. Like or like
Chuck's Gems.
It should have been like Kenny's Up and Comers.
It could be Chuck's Gems. It could be anything.
Yeah, Global Gems. Kenny's Up and Comers.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm just walking out in space. But yes, it doesn't have to be the same fucking name.
And all 3 of them saying stars at the end is so dumb.
So dumb.
So dumb. And then,
let's move to the format. The format, I want to explain it to you. No time. Okay. Each game is to 40.
Yeah, that's stupid. When has a basketball game ever been played to 40? Like, they should have just made it 21 then at that point and made it like best out of 3 or something like that.
Also, there's 3s. So it's to 40.
Yeah,
so it's like
it would make more sense if they did 42.
Oh, man,
it would make more sense if they did 42 and they were like, well, people usually play to 21 with 1s and 2s, so we're doing 42 with 2s and 3s.
Dunks. There was less than 10 dunks in all 3 games.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, obviously the All-Star product of the game has been shitty forever. They're trying new things. Like, the last game was like 250 to 230 or something stupid. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but like, there's no defense.
One year where they did the incentive for the charities, and they put a lot of money on the line, and bros played hard in the end. They played hard in the second half. I'll never forget that. That was a couple of years back, 2021 maybe late 20-teens. I don't recall the year, but they played for a charity for like $500,000 per team, and it was like legitimate money going towards a charity. So like, they couldn't not play well because the charity was on the line, you know what I mean? Versus like, here's $50,000 for your pocket if you win this tournament, fucker.
All right, so let's move on to some of the other events quick.
Yeah, the other thing I want to say is on Saturday, they should switch the slam dunk with the 3-point shootout. The 3-point shootout was so juiced and amped. And when I watched it, I just feel like that is the show now where we are in the league now, unfortunately. And if we're going to have guys like Mac McClung, who are G League players, being our main superstar.
I have a take on that. I mean, if we want to start at the dunk contest, maybe we'll finish with 3
I'm just talking about that one suggestion that I think
yeah.
they should switch because we're in the age of shooting, and I feel like we get hyped for the 3-point. Even I think back to that Clay Steph shootout in the 3-point shootout. Like, I feel like the 3-point shootout has become
the paramount.
You got it. That's good work. Perfect.
So I think that the dunk they can't let Mac McClung be in the dunk contest again next year. It's just
wrong.
It's so dumb. I mean, they're killing the product because if you're going to do that, you might as well have Jordan Kilgannon and these like professional dunkers in it. If you're just going to have a guy go on a 2-way contract to play the fucking G League guy, just come in and win the dunk contest. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Now we're going to let him go next year, 4 years in a row. And don't get me wrong. This is no hate on Mac McClung. Mac McClung has made more money.
He's so talented.
He's made more money in the dunk contest than he has in his G League career or whatever, 2 ways, anything. Like, Mac McClung should say yes as long as they invite him. It's not on McClung to say no.
Also, his bunnies
are insane. No, his dunks are crazy. Like, his dunks are crazy. I'm not trying to, but I can watch the professional dunk league, whatever. Like, I could watch that on YouTube.
Yeah,
There's guys who do just dunk. Like, I want to see superstars competing in the dunk contest, and I get they don't want to, whatever, this and that, but you have to just try to build stars then who actually at least are, like, call me crazy. I don't think you should be able to compete in the dunk contest unless you're in the All-Star game, let alone in the NBA.
Wow.
You don't like you
so
can't.
Question for you then: Would you make that a rule? Wait. Would you make that a rule for all of the events, skills, 3-point, and dunk?
I think so. You can't be in the home run derby if you're not in the All-Star game. You know what I mean?
That's true?
Yeah. There's no home run derby if you're not in the All-Star game.
Really?
Yeah, you look it up. I mean, I'm almost positive. I didn't like check it before we started talking today, but
I mean, I'm not throwing a challenge right now. But I'm just like
any home run derby guy who wasn't in the All-Star game,
right?
Like, you know, like it's wild. But to me, like, again, I'm not trying to disrespect Mac McClung. He's fucking amazing and impressive as fuck. But at the same time, like I said, you're just killing the product of like, all right, we're just like now we're just all the NBA players just watch and sit. And then you have every year people say, this year it was John Morant was like, I'm going to be in it next year. I'm going to take this guy out.
Him and Giannis.
Everyone's saying they're going to do it. But by the time next year rolls around,
well, if your team's in the playoff hunt and you're in the number 1 and number 2 seed and you're healthy.
You're really going to get hurt dunking, though? Like, it's like getting hurt fucking warming up, you know, or practicing. It's like, it's not like a crazy. I feel like, again, I'll reference the home run derby. I think your home run derby is more likely to fuck up your swing than the contest to get you injured.
Over the hood of that car and fucking hurts himself.
You also don't need to necessarily use a car. It's like Mac McClung, as great as he is, he just gets up. Like, he doesn't
living up there in the air.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily do like crazy tomahawks like we used to see or windmills where it's like they almost rip the rim off the basket. Like he kissed the ball with the rim the one time and then dunked it. Like I said, I didn't watch any of it live. I did see a few highlights of his dunks. That's about it. But
that one was wild. So basically, he jumped over somebody and he banged the ball,
kissed the ball the rim and then dunked it. Yeah. No, he's impressive.
He was literally on strings.
Yeah. No, and he does a little bit of the pushing when he jumps over the guys and shit too. You can see it. No, he's impressive. But again, it's like we're just building up. Like I said, if you're gonna invite him back,
you'll never see him again.
Invite Jordan.
364 days.
You gotta flip it like either to where any dunker in the world can be in it.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're in the fucking G League or not in the NBA or you're overseas.
You have to have some association to the NBA. It's got to be G League or NBA.
I think the G League and Jordan
competition and just call it a dunk competition.
I think Jordan Kilgannon and Mac McClung. There's virtually no difference. He's only probably in the G League still, so they have that like asterisk of he's associated with the NBA.
Beat Jordan Kilgannon 1-on-1, 100-0.
But I'm not but neither one of them are ever going to be an NBA player.
Mac was an NBA player.
Bro, Mac has played like fucking 3 games in the NBA, dude.
That is 3 more games than any other of these guys that did those dunking.
No, I don't know. I'm not buying it.
I'm not dying on the hill. I'm just saying that he's not
closer to Jordan Kilgannon than he is to an NBA All-Star.
Yeah, but he's way closer to an NBA player than he is to Jordan Kilgannon.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
If we're talking, okay, so wait, let's compartmentalize this a little bit.
I'm just saying
they have to be all-stars. in order to be in the competition, and the comparison is based on that notion, the idea that him being part of it, he's not even close to being an all-star, let alone an NBA player, then yeah, I'm riding, because there's no way that he should be there if he's not even close to being an all-star, let alone he's not really in the NBA.
I'll put it like this. Being in the G League shouldn't get you shouldn't get an invite because you're in the G League. The G League is nothing.
Right. I think we agree there.
The G League overseas, that's nothing. That's not like you are not an NBA player. He's not an NBA. Like I said, and I'll stand on this take that the only reason he's even in the G League probably still is because they want to keep him alive for the dunk contest.
Right,
for whatever reason. So I don't even think
he's. The other night he had 32. He was cooking kids in the G League.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm being
John, you know me. I'm not like.
Yeah. At the end of the day, any other G League, like I said, the G League is nothing. It doesn't matter. You're not an NBA player.
It's the farm system for the NBA. You sometimes find rooted talent in it, but it's very rare. Usually they just come straight from the draft to the NBA. You'll never see them in the G League once.
It's not like Van Vliet, like they play a few games in the G League.
Go to the NBA. You're not good enough for the NBA. Not a place that you go to train for the NBA, like the farm system is. I don't even want to be disingenuous about it. I think we agree. I know the G League is definitely a lesser product. It's almost like a separate league in a lot of ways, but.
It is. It's not almost like a separate league. It is entirely a separate
I'm saying,
league.
like, from a perspective of not being associated to the NBA because it is such a lower product from that perspective.
Yeah, no, it'd be like
there's not pitchers in AAA that
it'd be like a minor league catcher coming out and hitting in the home run.
Right. It's not as close there, is what I'm saying. Yeah, most guys in the G League will never see the light of day in the NBA.
If anything, like there probably is one. Like there's a G League All-Star game, having compete in the G League contest and the G League 3-point contest. He's not a fucking NBA player. Like I said,
we agree with that.
That shit is fucking whack, and it's not building the NBA stars by having Mac McClung win it every fucking year. It's gonna get fatigue where it's fucking boring. Like, all right, this guy just wins the dunk contest. Who fucking cares?
That's the whole thing. While I was in the stadium, it was boring, and like the fact that I'm in the stadium, they're having concerts, there's different things going on at half, they're throwing shirts, whatever, but the crowd was very quiet. It was and the average ticket in there is probably $1,500, $1,000, like crazy amount of money to sit really high up for no reason and just spend an exorbitant amount of money on food. And we don't do that type of stuff. Just to like watch these guys basically not try during the game, and then there's so much downtime when they're not playing because they're only playing a 40. So
you should leave an All-Star game and be like, this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I got to
exactly how Christy and I took it. We were like, we just saw Wemby and Steph. And we've never seen either of those guys. We've been waiting to see Steph forever.
Yeah. And that's amazing. And don't get me wrong, that's not
that is amazing. We seeing those guys live. Hit one of those half quarters.
But to walk out of those games and be like disappointed, like that should never be the case.
No,
like, it should never be like, especially when you guys got like hooked up with tickets. I wasn't even like, imagine the people who spent like $1,000 to sit close, and I
felt so bad in my head. I was like, this was kind of fucked up. Christy and I were talking about it. We were like being transparent about it. So
let's go All-Star.
Let's flip the page to the good shit.
Well, real quick, before we even get into the good shit, one more thing is the All-Star Celebrity Game. I just want to go over the rosters, and maybe I'm old, but like I remember like Brian McKnight fucking balling up and shit.
Name the person. How about this? Name the person, and I'm gonna try to name the profession. Let's see if I know all of them.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do that. That's what I have the roster pulled up here. So first of all, there's Jerry Rice and Barry Bonds. That's cool, guys from the Bay, legends in other sports. So
they play or they just coach.
Coach. Those are like the two coaches, whatever, captains. All right, so the first guy here is Kai Cenat.
Yeah, we know who he is. That's Big Kai.
He's a streamer. Yeah, he's a big.
I like Kai.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with him playing in it. Aaron Davis, old head.
Another Golden State guy too, with the shirt up.
Rome Flim.
Nope, nothing.
I didn't either. He's an actor, I guess. Alicia Gray.
Nope.
WNBA player. No idea. No idea, but I guess they usually have one of those.
The more they include the WNBA in the Celebrity All-Star Game, the more of a joke the WNBA is. If they're really trying to brand and really trying to get out of this, they got to stop doing this bullshit.
Or they need like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, like not Alicia Gray, like someone.
Then you're like literally, then you're spoon feeding it though. So then,
but it's also like I probably would have watched if Caitlin Clark was in the Celebrity Game.
Fair.
Mickey Guyton. No, I have no idea who that is. He's a musician. Tucker Halper.
Sounds eerily familiar. Halper. P-E-R-N or P-R-E-N, something like that.
HALPER total.
P-E-R. Alper.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, me either. He's a musician. Noah Khan.
A-H-A-N.
Yeah.
Like that? No idea.
I know he is. He's a good musician. He does like Season of the Sticks, and I forgot that I existed. Yeah. Okay, he's pretty big.
That was good. That was actually pretty good, John. You got me to the song immediately there.
Yeah, I figured I could get. That was good. Danny Ramirez.
Nope.
No idea. I guess he was star of Marvel Studios' Captain America: New World Order. No idea. Masai.
Okay.
Masai Russell.
Nope.
Olympic gold medalist. No idea.
Terrible. This league is a fucking joke.
Pablo Schreiber.
Nope.
No idea.
My local rabbi.
Star of Paramount Plus Halo, which I'm pretty sure is like animated or some, not maybe whatever, not animated, but like
Halo,
CG.
like Halo 3, like the game?
Yeah, they made a series on Paramount Plus, and he's in it.
Yeah, I know about this.
I'm pretty sure that like there's no faces in it. Like, you know, he's either like it's a voice actor.
All masks and shit, yeah.
Dylan Wang.
Nope.
Yeah, me either. Chinese actor and singer. And then Team Rice, Matt Barnes, we obviously know.
Because NBA China is a very big thing.
Matt Barnes, we obviously know.
They always
Bailey.
B-A-Y-L-E-E.
L-E-Y.
Nope.
WWE superstar, no idea. Chris Brickley.
Oh, yeah. Brickley's Drills. Like, he's like a NBA trainer.
Yeah. Yep.
Chris is very famous. He should be like.
That's cool for him, yeah. A.P. Dillon.
Nope.
Yeah, Indian singer, rapper, and songwriter. So I guess that's the opposite of China. They went India there.
Yeah, the NBA India. They have that too. I know they have that arm.
Drewski, obviously, is a big one.
Okay.
Comedian. Walker Hayes.
Nope.
No idea. Shelby McEwen.
Nope.
Me either. Terrell Owens.
Yep. Obviously.
Yeah, of course. Shabuzi.
You don't see me? You don't see me with
Hey. Shabuzi.
Shabuzi, no idea.
He's like the Noah Khan on the other side. He's
all right.
Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. You know that song?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. You're good at that.
I'm super too. Yeah, we'd be good at like that's
because I don't know like those types of artists and that genre. I don't know too well.
Yeah. No, that was like a good version of like $10,000 Pyramid right there.
Yeah. Yo, on Pyramid, we probably would fucking kill.
I think I'd be good giving you the clues.
Yeah,
for sure.
Me giving clues is shit.
Star of the drama series. Oh, Oliver Stark. You don't know. Star of the drama series 911. Kayla Thornton, Golden State Valkyries forward. I didn't even know the Golden State Valkyries were a team.
Is that a soccer team?
No, I think it's the WNBA player on their team, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, Golden State Valkyries. Didn't even know that was a thing.
That sounds like an expansion team.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we're going to get
by the way, speaking of expansion and just like teams being added on, did you see the Seattle mayor, whatever the fuck, dangle the idea of like Seattle getting a team again and like not and joking about it to his constituents at like a town hall? Did you happen to catch that video?
No. I'm
this bro was like kind of dangling about the idea of like they ripped away the basketball team and like was like, yeah, we're going to get one back someday. And like everyone started booing the fuck out of him. Like there were like a lot of lifer Supersonic fans that were just
any type of fucking congressional town hall political meeting. I'm fucking avoiding like the plague right now,
bro.
But you want to get into the Four Nations before the Hot Corner?
Yeah, I put the Hot Corner music on. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it on anyway. Let's get into the Four Nations anyway. I want to talk about that. It was fucking electric.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that Thursday night game especially was just. You know, this is a non-hockey fan talking here that like knows a little about a lot, you know, and whatever. And like, I think it's just like the energy that the U.S., Canada country representation brought to it, combined with the fact that there was some disrespect that I saw in the first game, and just like all of it, I think, and the climate right now, the political climate, like all of it, just like weighed into the game so well, and it just. That's what made it such a letdown when the U.S. lost, and it felt like they had a chance with Matthews' chance across the middle there towards, I think that was in the second period. They really had a chance to win. So I want to leave it with you. I know you have takes stuff ready to rock on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll start on ice. Like you said, we're not huge hockey guys. We're not going to pretend to be. That being said, I have eyes.
More than me though, for sure.
That being said, I have eyes. I watched the games, and it was fucking exciting, electric.
We've been watching for 25 years, Yeah.
Guys wanted to fucking win and cared. Was willing to get hurt. The Bruins defenseman McAvoy did get hurt.
Yeah.
The owners are willing to let their guys play and play hard in the NHL. No owners were standing up bitching and moaning like, "Oh, I don't want my guy to get hurt." No. They built the fucking league and they built up the NHL. And this Four Nations, I think they've already reacted, and they're gonna do like a hockey World Cup now, and like every 2 like off Olympic years, like every 4 years off the Olympics. They're gonna react to this.
Lean into the soccer world. You got it right next to you, right there. The way that kind of soccer is with
lean into nationalist pride.
Yes.
America is getting better. A lot of the Canadian players who play here, move here, have kids here, who grow up as American kids and are coaching kids who are American. Like, we're starting to get some of that Canada rub where we are becoming, I know there's Russia up there too, who wasn't in the Four Nations, unfortunately. Again, we don't talk political climate, but we can't really let Russia in right now. But they obviously are up there as a global power. But I would say it's between Russia and U.S. as after Canada, the number 2 team definitively, which U.S. really never was. We had some great years, but we were never really the preliminary threat number 1 or number 2 to Canada. Like, we were, in the mix with, like you said, with the Finlands, the Swedens, even like the Czech Republics of the world and Russia, like now it's like, okay, Canada's got to watch their back because like USA could overtake them in the next decade, 20 years. We have so many more people. Yes, this is their game. And but this year I was saying it, we have the goaltender advantage, and Hellebuyck played great. That shot in overtime, I don't think Jesus Christ could have saved. McDavid was just fucking wide open in the middle.
Wide open across the middle.
And to be fair to Bennington, who I was saying, like, we have the goaltender advantage. Bennington made great glove saves in the overtime period. So like I said, on ice, Thursday was electric. The format's a little weird that we beat them by 3 goals and then they beat us once in overtime and they win the tournament. I know it's just how round robin is, but I think there's stuff
that people would say the differential shit.
Yeah, but it's like the round robin happens to determine the top 2 teams, and then the top 2 teams just play. So it's not like but it is. But just looking at it,
it's all just one microcosm as a game. Like
everyone played everyone once, and then whoever had the most like points, the top 2 point getters play each other in the championship game.
Right.
Versus just like Canada plays Sweden, we play Finland, the winners play each other one time or whatever. It leaves kind of a weird taste in the mouth. That being said, not to take anything away from Canada. They won. That's how the tournament was structured, and they won it. That being said,
their team was better. Their team was better.
The skaters were better. I really think, goalie-wise and defenseman-wise, I think it sucks we lost McAvoy and that Quinn Hughes was hurt to begin with. But, I mean, we got the Tkachuk brothers. We got the Hughes brothers. USA is fucking coming. And let's get Brady Tkachuk out of fucking Ottawa and get him on a U.S. team in the NHL soon because he's a fucking stud.
The kid that's on the Blackhawks, what's his name?
Bedard.
Bedard. He didn't make the team. Like I
think he's Canadian, but I'm not sure. He has that like French Canadian last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he plays for the Blackhawks, but I don't know where he's from, to be honest. I think he's Canadian. I'll look it up real quick if you want to talk for a second.
Just got drafted number 1, right?
He's Canadian. Yeah, he's Canadian.
Like the next one up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it feels like Canada. Yeah, like they felt a little bit faster. Their goalie snapped. We have to talk about that for like an extra.
Bennington went off. Yeah,
he felt like he was in another ozone when he made that second save with the glove.
Yeah, he's so good glove side.
That was disgusting.
I think he probably heard a lot of the rumblings of like USA is the better goaltending, and he stepped up. I mean, he is a Stanley Cup winning goalie, but Hellebuyck's the back-to-back Vezina Trophy winner. He's a fucking beast, So
he was a beast the whole time too. I mean, he was stopping a lot of. They had a lot of moments where it felt like they could have. I think they hit the post one shot. They had a chance at one point.
It seemed like through like the first period and a half, Canada was like gonna blow the doors off of the USA almost. They had to like settle down.
For sure.
Because they have McKinnon, McDavid, McCarr.
This is not.
They're fucking nasty.
That was stupid. I'm sitting there watching with Chrissy. She's just like, that's the guy from Colorado. Wait, that's McDavid, the guy that leads in points. Annis, the guy you told me about. She's like, wait, this whole team is just disgusting. I was like, it's disgusting.
I mean, they should win, and they did win.
But then broke Stan Bennett, bro. Like, it was.
Yeah. Bennett, they got the Reinhardt. They're stacked. They're fucking stacked.
Disgusting. Reinhardt.
Yeah. They're fucking stacked. But USA is catching up, and like I said, we had some injuries.
Yeah,
we had some injuries, and
fucking man.
Quinn Hughes we could have used. Who's the Hughes on the Devils? I don't think it's Zach.
No, Jack.
Yeah. And there's another Hughes brother too. There's three of them in the NHL.
Connor Hughes?
Let me look it up real quick. Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes, and I guess there's now Luke Hughes.
Hughes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's young. He's like coming up. So
damn, that's the same family, same dad, same ma.
Yeah. All three Hughes brothers to play in same NHL game for first time when Devils play Canucks.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Jack and Luke are both on the Devils.
Oh, the Devils, and then
Quinn Hughes is on the Canucks.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's three of them now. I think Luke is still young, like coming into his
family.
own.
What a family! Holy.
And then, like I said, the Chuck brothers, Brady, Matthew, monsters. So, I mean, like we said, I think that like the NHL got it right. Obviously, the way they set this up, but at the same time, like
an all-star game combined with Team Pride.
Credit to the players, though, too. Because I don't think if you just were like, all right, let's do USA or North America versus Europe versus Asia or something, I don't think you get the same in the NBA. And I think it's indicative of the NBA as a whole of just guys not really being competitive. I don't think it's an all-star game problem. I think it's a regular season problem. Yeah. I think I think until the playoffs, these guys don't care. They sit out. Like we talked about, like Joel Embiid won MVP when he only played 65 games. That's missing 19% of the games. That's 1 in 5 games he's not playing, and he's the fucking MVP. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no way for all 65 of those games they won, first of all, or that he played his best brand of basketball.
I mean, he's an incredible player, but it's just like the fact that you could miss 1 out of 5 games and be the MVP is insane. And that's just like become the norm that like a healthy season is like 65 to 70 games. Like nobody's really playing 82 anymore besides guys like who do still care and do still compete every night, like Josh Hart, somebody like that. Like those guys are few and far between, and they're certainly not the star players. And it really is like the regular season now is like a preseason. That's what it feels like to me, at least. The regular season,
sure. I mean,
it's an 82-game preseason for me.
It's the most expensive sport, too, when you want to go watch these teams. I can't even stress that enough. And, like, Christy told me that was the second time she tried to see Bron and he didn't play. And it's just like, when that's going on, I've been to games before where I went to a Bucks-Knicks game and Jonas didn't play and we played the next night, and I remember tracking it and all that shit and about it because it's fucking petty. Like, it's just when you're taking nights off on back-to-backs, and it's just, I get it in one sense because you're trying to protect your career. There's a ton of money on the line, more money than ever. But at the same time, the only reason you are making that fucking money is because I'm coming to watch you fucking play, bro. Yeah. So if I'm not watching you, you're just in the park with your boys playing ball. So it's like there has to be give and take there, and there has to be some kind of onus. I've always said this about the league too, in the NBA. It's got to be taken down in terms of the games. 82 games is too many games. No one gives a shit. It should be like 60 games.
I fucking loved the NBA.
I used to love it when the brand was the brand, but like the brand,
like the game was always 82 games, and I fucking loved it. And I idolized these guys and was like,
there wasn't hundreds of millions of dollars.
Day in and day out, there were teams battling to fucking win at the end of the game in the fourth quarters. Yeah. Like everyone was fucking playing their hearts out. I just don't see it anymore.
The fourth quarter would kick up to like, all right, here we go. Now we're gonna play the game.
Bro, Kobe in the fucking All-Star game, Iverson in the All-Star game, those guys were killers.
Carter, when that Eastern Conference team came back and won that shit against the Towers, against Nowitzki, Garnett, Duncan, and all those boys, that was one of like my favorite moments as a kid. I remember watching that All-Star game because they were playing at the highest level. It was fucking nuts.
Like I said, the playoffs are still great. I love the NBA playoffs. Because that's when they start to compete. But like if they're just gonna sit and fucking kind of just tread water until the playoffs, I'm not going to be interested in the regular season. I'm enough of a sports fan to know when these guys are playing their hardest and when they're coasting, so
for sure.
But shout out to the NHL, but I do think it's an onus on both the players and the ownership and the head front office of the league, league management, Adam Silver, on down, but the players need to share in the blame too. And then vice versa, the NHL, credit the NHL for coming up with this, idea, and credit to players for fucking caring and fist fighting in the fucking All-Star game, because that's what this is. There's no, this was calls the Four Nations tournament. Like, there's really nothing here. Like maybe a trophy. I don't even know. Like this was a glorified All-Star game, and these guys are fist fighting. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and those guys were fist fighting based on like disrespect of the anthem and shit. That's like a whole other fucking level. They're in a different world. That what that hockey shit was versus where the NBA All-Star game was is just not even in the same stratosphere. Like
not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah. No, it was incredible work, incredible, and it was. And I don't want to downplay how fucking great it was. It captivated two nations, like you said, not hockey fans. Anyone with eyes on Thursday night who was tuning into that fucking championship game, it was great game.
I was still working. I had it on to my left. Like I literally, I had my desk right here. My work computer was right here. I was like on meetings, and I would like had it on to my left. Shit you not.
All right, we can get into the hot scorer now.
Let's do it. I'll do 5 questions and then I'll do trivia. All right.
I got questions this time.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was my turn because we didn't go last week.
Oh yeah. True. So I guess I'm in the right state of mind, but
no. So now you're prepped for next week. We're good.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders?
Next, neither. Shedeur.
You could pick neither. But then you're gonna have to have somebody else.
Oh, I have to pick someone else. Oh.
No, I'm saying you could say neither and then think of someone else.
I'll just say Shedeur.
All right. Worst, or who do you think is the worst A-list actor? And when I say actor, I mean both genders.
Reynolds.
Okay. Worst draft picked in New York Knicks history. And we could do like recent history, like
Frank Ntilikina.
Worst place or situation to have to take a bad shit.
Oof. Worst place. This is tough.
Or situation. Yeah,
I was gonna say work just because everyone knows you. That was my first answer. So we'll get into it though afterwards.
All right.
I'll say work.
Where does Jokic rank among all-time centers?
Top 5.
Would you rather play in the MLS or NBA G League?
Or NBA G League?
Yeah, or the MLS.
MLS. Right. Yeah.
What is the most annoying subculture of human beings? And I can give you some examples if you're not clear on the question.
I need examples.
Vegans, CrossFit, teenagers, foodies.
Okay.
Something like that. Just like a subculture of people who like are annoying. They're always talking about that one thing they know about, kind of thing.
MAGAs.
I was gonna say keep it non-political, but whatever. We'll leave it.
Right.
Well, fuck it. No, you're good.
I was on that side of the aisle for this past election, for the record. But again, MAGAs.
All right, and now we're getting into the trivia portion. Where did the last 10 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks go to college? So I'm going to tell you how I did this. I just did it off the top of my head. Or no, the last 12, excuse me.
The last 12 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks and what college that quarterback went to.
And remember, like, unique Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. So it's not like Mahomes 3 times. I did it.
Okay, so even if it took 20 years, if there were back-to-backs, that's just one. I got you.
Yes, exactly. And then one more thing, just so you know. I went through it and I did 10. I went 11 of 12 and I had 10 in a row without looking at anything, just out thought my head. But I'll give you the quarterback or the team, whatever you want. If you want the quarterback and just go to the college.
So far, I don't need either. I'm going to go in order. I'm just try to go in order as I think backwards. Okay,
I got 10 in a row in order for the record.
We're just doing school, right? You said?
Well, the quarterback and where they went to school, so we're not
So
confusing
we'll
people.
do Mahomes and Texas Tech.
Well, that's not in order already.
Well, I'm not going in order though, is what I'm saying.
Okay, not going in order. Okay, Mahomes and Texas Tech, check.
Yeah, I'm going like just backwards as many as I can remember. So I guess Hurts, Oklahoma, Alabama, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I was gonna say where they graduated from, or where they played last, no transfer, first transfer.
Okay, yeah, so whatever. Okay.
There's one other guy like that on the list, just so.
there is one other guy on the list that's
or
like
technically two other, but that one you wouldn't even remember for sure. But whatever. Just where they played last in college. Sorry to confuse you.
Going backwards before that. Man, the one that's I'm gonna have a problem with probably is Nick Foles. I have no idea where he went to college. So I'll need clues for that college in a second, but we'll go back to that. Let me see if I get some obvi ones.
Okay.
Tom Brady, Michigan. Aaron Rodgers, Cal. Drew Brees, Purdue. Eli Manning, Ole Miss. Peyton Manning, Tennessee. Russell Wilson, Wisconsin.
Yep, that was one of the other transfer guys.
He was the other transfer guy?
Yeah, one of the obvious other transfer guy because he played at NC State for like 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Good call. Nice.
Foles is
I don't think of him as a transfer guy. I don't know why.
He only played Wisconsin 1 year, and he played at NC State for like 4. But Foles also transferred, but his was like less. Like he didn't play like a full transfer.
Yeah. Probably community college. What's it called? All right, let me keep going here. Thinking about Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. So
far, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 12 already.
All right, doing good here. Who else won the Super Bowl? Who am I missing?
Let me know when you want some hints.
Oh, Ben Roethlisberger, but where did he go to school? Oh, I know this. This one's gonna hurt when you tell me where he went to school, motherfucker.
You want a hint?
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger played his college football in the MAC, the Mid-American Conference.
Yeah, I knew that already. Fuck!
It's a city that's more well-known in another state. That's a pretty good hint, if you think about it.
It's a city that's more like a Chicago instead of Illinois type of thing.
Yeah, like if there was a Chicago, New York. It's like that.
It's gonna hurt. I'll go back to it. Let me sit on it.
All right.
This is the last. How many we're doing? 12.
You have four more. Yeah.
4 more. So the last 12. So
if you want hints towards, because you know Foles and you know Roethlisberger, if you want hints towards the other two
guys that I need to figure out what 2 Super Bowl winners I'm missing. Yeah.
If you want hints
Stafford.
Yeah.
And where did he go to school? Something in Texas, I feel like.
That's where I went to high school.
Oh. And he was like a Texas quarterback. I don't know why. Where did he go to school? He's like an Eli guy. I know it. Yeah. It's like not Vanderbilt. USC. No. Stafford. That one's gonna hurt. Also,
you want a hint?
Please, yeah.
SEC. Yeah. So my hints will start at the conference, and then I'll get more specific.
Yeah. All right, let me put it on the list here. Did Matt Stafford go to Clemson?
That's an ACC school.
Oh, I don't know why they thought they were SEC. That was where my head first went, though. Even when you said SEC, I just thought of Clemson with Stafford.
Nah, they're ACC.
Foolish. I don't remember. He's not LSU. No.
Not LSU.
No, he's not. Not Auburn. No. Not Ole Miss. Not Texas. New SEC team anyway. Can't see it with him.
Where also played there.
That's not. Yeah. What school is it?
No, I don't like it. They're the Bulldogs.
Oh, Georgia. Wow.
Yeah.
Stafford. I can. Damn, that one fucking is gonna hurt later today when I think about that. I knew that. That's why. Okay.
All right. And there's
one more Super Bowl winner. Okay.
Let me know if you want a hint on that one.
More? Is it more towards our
in between Russell Wilson and Eli Manning? The stadium went dark in this Super Bowl. Like the second half was delayed because there was a blackout.
Oh, Joe Flacco. Oh,
Yep.
okay. That's a good hint. Delaware.
Yes, Joe Flacco went to Delaware.
Yeah. Nice hint.
Now you're down to Arizona. I gave it to you. Fuck.
Oh,
My bad. Foles
No,
went to
you're good.
Arizona.
no, you're good. You're good. I would have never got that. There's no
All
way.
right. And then Roethlisberger. But I would have said Pac-12. You would have got there
I'm gonna be
eventually.
10 out of 12 here for sure. I'm 9 out of 12 here with Stafford. Yeah, I'm 9 out of 12. I don't know this one either. I can't remember Roethlisberger.
Miami of Ohio.
There's no way. Yeah, wow.
It was a city in a different state was a good
Yeah,
hint,
it's a
though.
big clue. I knew it, but I've seen it. I've seen it next to his name. Miami with the OH next to his thing when I've seen his name on the bottom of a screen 1,000 fucking times.
So I did it without looking at anything. I went the first 10 in a row where they went to school, and then I got Roethlisberger, and he was the 12th, and I missed the 11th. I forgot about Breeze, Purdue. I forgot that happened. I missed up at that point I was kind of fucking the years up in my head. But
Yeah. It's risky to do it that way if you don't go in chronological order because
I was just like Hurts,
can't tell if you
Oklahoma.
get guys.
Then I'm
Yeah.
like Mahomes,
Right.
Stafford, Brady, Foles, Brady, Manning, Wilson, Flacco, Eli, Rodgers, and then I skipped Breeze and I got Roethlisberger.
Respectable though. 9 is
That was good. That was good. I thought I'd expect you to do good there. That's not I thought you'd do good there. The ones you didn't get, Foles. I'm a big college football guy, but like when I forgot about Breeze, then I was like, oh, obviously Breeze, Purdue.
That's an easy college one. I feel like.
Yeah.
He's a great college.
All right, last 6 Cy Young Award winners. So there's each league the last 3 years.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
If you want, I could give you the teams.
Yeah, I'll take teams even. Yeah.
All right, the most recent year was Detroit and Atlanta.
Freed.
No.
Yes, tells you that Detroit.
Detroit, you don't know? Young guy.
Yeah, I do. I just can't think of the name. I do. know
Unique
it.
first name for a white
Yeah, I
guy.
saw him in the playoffs. I remember watching him last year.
Yeah,
in the
he's a
playoffs.
beast in the playoffs.
He's a
Yeah.
beast in the playoffs. I just, this is like a baseball with me is like I'm good, but I don't track it hard enough, and especially right now, like it's totally on the outside stuff. It's not going to go well. Let me think for a second though.
All right. The Atlanta guy is a former White Sox and Red Sox. Older guy. Kind of a resurgent year.
Kluber.
No, for the Braves this year.
For the Braves. Resurgent.
And former Red Sox and White Sox wouldn't be Kluber either. He didn't play for either of those teams.
He played for the Red Sox.
He played for the Indians, maybe you're thinking.
Corey Kluber also played for the Red Sox.
I don't think so. I'll double check, but that's not him either way.
I'll throw a challenge flag on myself.
There's no way he played for the White Sox for sure. And I don't
Red
think he played
Sox.
for the Red Sox.
Yeah, his first picture comes up that he played for the Red Sox. Yeah,
Oh, okay, fair enough. But he
I
never
threw a
played
challenge
on the
flag on
White
myself
Sox.
for the record.
Yeah, he played for the Red Sox last year. So his last year, which was 2023. He didn't even play last year.
And that's what I was saying. That he didn't play last year, but
So how could he win the Cy Young if he didn't play last year?
yeah, I just thought of that now. But I was just thinking about anyway.
Never played for the White Sox either.
Yeah. So you said former White Sox and former Red Sox. You said.
Yeah, and played for the Braves last year.
This the lefty.
Yes, lefty, weird wind up.
Sale. I got you.
Chris Sale, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got you. The other guy, I don't think Detroit player. I know it's like Stubble.
Yeah, you're right there. You're all over it.
I don't remember his first name
Very
though.
close. Tarek Skubal.
Tarek Skubal. Yeah. He was
All right.
great. He's really good too.
The year before, it's the Yankees and the Padres.
Ooh, Yankees. Is that Garrett's? Yeah.
Garrett Cole, correct.
And then the Padres. Padres. Really? Oh, another lefty. What's his name? Snell. Blake
Yes,
Snell.
Blake Snell. There you go.
He had 19 wins or something crazy. I remember that.
Yes, Blake
Rob
Snell.
won fantasy. I remember. That's the only reason I know this shit.
And then the year before that is Houston and Miami.
In Miami.
Yeah, Miami you're probably not going to get. It's a hard one.
Alcon.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that
there.
it?
Finish.
Sandy Alcon.
Yeah, you got it. Sandy Alcon, finish it.
Alcantara.
Alcantara. I'll give you that. That's close
Alcantara.
enough. That was good.
Yeah, I got to see him live actually at Yankee
That's
Stadium.
like your Devontae Smith Heisman. Like you know,
Yo,
like you know the hardest one.
Come on, Sandy.
That's a good one.
And then you said the other one was what team?
Houston.
Houston, the lefty again, Valdez.
No. Righty.
Righty. Oh, so is it like one of the Verlander?
Yeah, Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
Solid. All right, last one.
Framber. That's what it was. Framber Valdez. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Last 10 unique Stanley Cup winners.
This one's gonna be hard. All right.
This one I got 6, so I'm
okay.
That's even
10. So Florida. Okay.
Yep.
Edmonton.
No. Canada hasn't won a Stanley Cup in
They
like
went to this
30
and
years.
Lost. Oilers lost. What am I saying?
Yeah, Stanley Cup winners. Yeah.
Lost. I'm an idiot. Okay. Colorado. Yeah. Vegas.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We're doing something here. The last 10.
I got 6 before getting it. Like I didn't guess any after that, so you already got one wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. I did already get one wrong.
But that's still good. You got the last 3. That's good. You know, you're 30% on the way to 10.
Yeah. I think. Did the Canucks win it?
No. Again, Canada hasn't won the Stanley Cup. A Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup in like 35 years.
Yeah. Watch, I'm going to say the Senators next.
You're like Senators, Flames.
I know. LA Kings won it.
That is the second to last one. That's 9th of 10.
Nice. And
they beat the Rangers.
Yeah. The St. Louis Blues.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, let me think here. The Yotes ever won it? Not San Jose. No. Did the Sharks? Why does it feel like they might have? Oh, that's a crazy guess. I'm not gonna guess it though.
Let me know when you want some hints.
Yeah. I'm just.
All right. This team.
Oh,
won 2.
Wait. Before you give a hint, the Flyers.
No. This team won 2. They beat the Rangers in the conference finals. One of them.
Recently? Yeah, I probably watched it.
The most recent one besides those top 3 you said.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man. The Eastern Conference team. What team is that? Not Florida. So what team is that we're talking about here? Oh, Tampa Bay. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so fucking embarrassing.
You want another clue or you want to keep trying?
I knew there was another Florida team. I was staring at the state of Florida in my head, and I couldn't figure out the other team there.
All right, you have the most recent ones. You have Panthers, Golden Knights, Avalanche, Lightning, Blues, and then there's another Eastern Conference team. They play at the Verizon Center.
Oh, the Washington, whatever the fuck.
You're right. It's a Washington. What's the name of the team?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm blanking on the. Not the Predators, the Washington. Fuck. Oh my god. Not the Nationals, that's baseball. What is the fucking name of that hockey team? The Washington.
Albany is the blank of New York.
Capitals. Holy shit.
Washington Capitals. You got 3 more.
Jesus!
You got 3 more. The next one is also Eastern Conference, and their city and team name is alliteration.
Good clue. Let me see. East Coast team, their team is an alliteration. Boston Bruins.
They're on the list, but that's not who I was talking about. They're the last after the Kings. So there's another one like that.
same description would have fit the Bruins.
Yeah, correct.
It's so funny. Not the team you were talking about.
Because I'm looking down, just going in order, given the clues. Yeah, that clue applies to both of them.
I know, that's funny. Fuck.
So you have 2 more left.
I don't know.
Just think real quick. You want another hint, or you want?
No.
Their baseball team of the same city also is alliteration. I guess it's really easy when I know the
Miami Marlins. I know. So is it their team in Miami?
It's not Miami team. No.
Yeah.
It's the Steel City.
Pittsburgh Penguins. Wow.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins. And then the last one.
That's a bad one to miss. Fucking A.
The last one. Jonathan Taves played there.
Taves?
Taves played there, and then another great player who played there is known as, if not the best American hockey player ever, one of them. They got traded to the Rangers later in their career. I can't say the name, it'd be too obvious. I'll give you a minute, and then I'll just say the name.
Messier, you're talking about?
No, he's Canadian. He's not American.
Oh, really?
And he's already long retired by any of this happened.
Oh, yeah, true. How much thought within my guessing? I'm not sure.
His name is Patrick Kane.
I do know Patrick. He came to our team late
That's what I said. He got traded to the Rangers eventually.
Casey didn't like that trade. He said he was an older player. He used to be great. I remember that.
But what team did he play for when they won the chip? Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Dylan Bluffking.
I don't know why I don't know this one. Is the Islanders? I don't know.
They have a Native American name.
The Indians? They have an Indian's name?
They have they have that kind of name.
I don't know.
The Blackhawks, the Chicago Blackhawks.
I was thinking it. It's funny. I was thinking it because we talked about Bedard before, but I didn't want to say because I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, we'll start from the top. We'll go through them. Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. You almost pulled the Quinn Ewers on us or something there.
No, I don't want that either. I want Travis Hunter and go trade for Matt Stafford. That's what I'm reading. That's what I want. Yeah.
I don't know if the Rams are going to trade
Stafford after that run last year.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would either. Apparently the he wants to move on. That's what I was reading, but I don't know. I would take something like that more than drafting a quarterback in like a project. Travis Hunter.
But it's not like you're a Matt Stafford away though either. As a Giant fan, you need probably to build some
quarterback play. I'd be interested to see what the team does.
That's true.
We haven't had competent quarterback play in a number of years now.
It's very true. To be fair, I'm the one who said, when we had Eddie on, because I think Eddie's like a fake Daniel Jones fan. Like he's like saying he could do well somewhere else, this and that. And I disagreed that I don't think it's bad coaching. I think he has a decent roster around him, and that it's actually holding them back. They have pass catchers. They have a D line. They have some good secondary players.
Nice little piece last year. A nice little piece at a running back. Like he's not a bad player.
No. They have a good secondary. They have good left tackle. They got some pieces.
They got some pieces. I just I'd be. That's what I mean. Like I'd be interested to see if someone can take a 2-step drop back and get the ball out quick and
that being said, they have pieces, but I don't think they're with Matt Stafford. I still don't necessarily know if they're
still
a playoff
a 6-8-win team, even with Stafford. But I still think that confident.
You want to start winning some games.
It'll help you win some games. It'll also help you kind of see what your roster even is.
Just want to say too, see your roster, but also see your coaching. It'll expose Dable. If they have Stafford and they're still inept on offense, then it points a lot to Dable.
You see things when there's at least a competent quarterback who can run the offense. If you're not even seeing the play develop, we don't even know what the fuck we're looking at.
Yeah, but just in general, not pertaining to the Giants in particular, who do you think is going to – you think Shedeur will have a career like Cam Ward?
Shedeur is going to go before. I could see Cam falling just because of his whole story, but he could be a Bo Nix and just be a guy that has been in college for a while and come out and start balling immediately and really just get the offense quickly. I don't know a lot about him. I know he's a guy that's been in college for a minute, from what I remember hearing about him.
Definitely been in college a long time, but he's a stud, man. I like watching Cam Ward play. He's very smooth. He's never like in a hurry. You know, he's like always kind of on his own time.
How big is he? Is he a big dude?
Probably like 6'2", 220, 215.
Okay.
You know, not huge.
He's not
doesn't have a prototypical size necessarily, but then again, it's like almost
over 6'1". I feel like now is just fine.
As long as it's more like about if you can move now than your height, and like the statues are kind of working their way out of the NFL. Besides, you know, Josh Allen, you know, like is kind of the last one, but he can move also. The like stand in the pocket like a statue guy is kind of, you know, going out. You want a guy who can 6'2", who can move is fine, you know, like Shador, I think, is also probably like 6'1", you know. But then again, we're talking about Hurts. He's probably like 6 foot, if that, you know.
I just think there's a lot of unsung pressure there, and especially when you're gonna. It's not like he's like falling into a roster. When you're a coach's son like that, like you are, like what's his name? Bro on Denver, who won Defensive Player of the Year. What's his name?
Patrick Surtain.
It's not like when your father played in the league and you're coming in and now you're controlling the entire offense. He's going to play corner, so he can just focus on his assignment, his job, his thing. It's not as much responsibility as being like the entire quarterback. When you're Dion's son and then you're walking into taking the keys of a franchise, I feel like it's just like a different onus and pressure that's automatically being assumed for a guy like him coming into that. Like even Caleb had it, and Caleb didn't have a father that was in the NFL and all this fucking glorified shit.
So you're saying this is a positive or a negative for Shador?
I think it's a negative because it's bad when you're trying to establish a culture and you have like a LaMelo Ball on your team, because like these types of guys that feel like their celebrity is almost as big as they are as players. Like the Sanders name is almost as big as him as a player. That to me,
I think it's tough with the NBA comparison, because the NFL, you're going to be one of the guys. Like there's just so many people on the team, and you're not. Yeah. But I'm saying, just like even at quarterback, you're not on the field half the game. Like, you know, it's like it still is like different, and also like
you're the mouthpiece for the team.
I do think the pedigree, like you're also in a way you've grew up around a superstar. You've seen it, you know firsthand. Like you have the NFL pedigree in your blood. You know, not just athleticism.
I do love that.
Not just athleticism and talent-wise, but just like you grew up around it, and then even in college, NIL era, you know, you were making a lot of money in commercials. You know, he's kind of already acclimated to the limelight, if you will, and maybe the pressure won't be too much. I'm a Cam Ward guy, I think, but we'll keep it moving. Worst A-list actor, Ryan Reynolds. I don't hate it. I do think he's like sneaky funny, so I give him some points for that.
Yeah, his moments in Van Wilder or whatever.
Yeah, Van Wilder, Deadpool, you know. Okay. But then again, like I couldn't see Ryan Reynolds as like, you know, in like a Edward Norton
or Interstellar or hold a main role at all.
Yeah. I can't see him being like in a heartfelt, like crying when his son died, kind of like, you know, he is like a happy.
Looks like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Every movie.
I kind of like him though.
In every movie.
I kind of like him and Blake Lively. I think they're like a fun little couple. They make fun of each other and shit. But yeah, acting skill-wise for an A-list, I think you might be onto something. The name I wrote down was Ben Affleck. I think he stinks. You know, I've never been an Affleck guy. If he's not in a movie from Boston, it's 100% going to be a flop. You know,
or his brother is in it, and Casey's carrying him the whole time.
Casey Affleck is a significantly better actor than Ben Affleck.
He's the man. It's not in Ocean's 11. Casey is the GOAT, bro. Like,
Casey Affleck is way better actor.
He is one of the most emotionally invoking movies.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth.
That movie put Casey
You've never seen Manchester by the Sea
than his brother.
Yeah. A24, great production company. Manchester by the Sea, Casey Affleck's performance is spectacular.
That's a tough by the way. Don't just watch that lightheartedly, people.
No, be prepared to cry.
Get the tissues ready on that.
Yeah, it's a sad ass movie. But yeah, I couldn't see Ryan Reynolds doing that either, though. You know, like
I mean, like they can't take this asshole seriously right now.
Yeah, for sure.
No way.
Worst draft pick in NYK history, New York Knicks history. I wrote down Frank Nicolino also. Perfect. I was listening to a podcast recently where Rick Pitino, shout out Part of My Take, Barstool. Rick Pitino was on it. I'm a St. John's, you know, alumni. So
they put the program. The program's
playing great. So But Rick Pitino was saying how
By the way, bachelors. I wanted to mention to you, Christy St. John's bachelor. By the way.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino was saying, damn, we were probably there similar time. Rick Pitino was saying that when they took Frank Nidicolina, he was talking to the New York Knicks brass and telling them to draft Donovan Mitchell, and they didn't take Donovan Mitchell. Ended up going like 12th or something, and Frank Nidicolina went 6th, I want to say.
That's too. I think that might be too early. Maybe 8th. I'm gonna go guess.
All right, I'll look it up real quick. I'm trying to think if there's any other good ones that come to mind.
Ronaldo Balkman.
Ronaldo Balkman. I feel like he was a little later. 8th. Good call.
It was right.
Yeah.
I'm sick like that. That's disgusting. All right, cool.
I mean, your favorite team's lottery
exactly.
pick.
Yeah. Gotta have those.
Donovan Mitchell went 13th that year.
Ronaldo Balkman. Hold on.
I don't know when Balkman went. I couldn't tell you that.
Right now.
I saw him play live in Puerto Rico with Cruz's brother.
Ronaldo Balkman draft pick. What is it? Fuck.
I got you right here. He went 20th in 2006.
First round pick, right?
Yeah, first round pick, 20th overall.
Absolutely horrific.
Yeah, and he was playing in Puerto Rico by 2013 or whatever, because I saw him play out there with Cruz's brother on the team.
People want to have a Knicks conversation with me. That's what I'm saying. Like, people want to talk Knicks with me. It's like, you really want to do this? Like, I don't want to do this.
I was like, Ronaldo Balkman fucking... I saw him in the game. I was like, what's he doing fucking here? You know what I mean? What is he doing in Puerto Rico? Like, and we hung out with him after the game, actually. Nice enough guy, but I was like, him and Johan Petro was on the other team. I don't know if you remember Johan Petro. I was like, what the fuck are these NBA?
Petro,
yeah. He was on the other team that played Cruz's brother's team.
He was a baller. I remember him. He was in the league for a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, these are the two league guys. You're only allowed to have like 2 Americans per team. But I was just like, fucking Ronaldo Balkman, what are you doing here? Like, you should at least be able to play in Europe or something. Oh, you know what it is? I think he is Puerto Rican, or half Puerto Rican or whatever.
So where Staten Island for him?
But maybe I think it's
Staten Island.
I think if your parents are Puerto Rican, it still counts or something like that.
San Miguel a la Filipinas he played for as well. It says here he's a Puerto Rican. Yep. Yeah,
so if your parents are Puerto Rican, it doesn't count against your Americans on your team.
Yeah, he is a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I went to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rican, go figure.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I only know because I saw him play in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, they probably were allowed to have an extra American because of that, because his parents are Puerto Rican or whatever.
Wow, that's funny. He's born in Staten Island though.
Yeah. So after that, but Frank was the first name I wrote down too. He was a big.
Also,
big
I just watched the Olympics thing, and I was watching him play a little bit,
for France,
I see him there, so he's fresh.
Worst place situation to have to take a bad shit. You went with work. I mean, work for me, I fucking don't mind shitting at work at all. I guess.
No, my situation, it's like an office. So when you're in an office,
even when I worked in an office, I would take a shit. I don't care.
I do
corporate
it, but
sales.
If I have a nice shirt on and I have a meeting in 20 minutes and I'm about to walk into a conference room and you gotta be perfect. If you're at a restaurant or something and something goes wrong, you can overuse the toilet paper and walk out of that bathroom and just not take no blame because you don't know anybody in the restaurant. You're just leaving the bathroom. But
but even blue collar, what?
And you walk out of that stall and people make you and they see damage that's been done or smell damage.
I mean, that's to me, it's more that's just a human. I mean, if it's really bad, that stinks at work. But at the end of the day, I guess I'm just thinking normal shits. Yeah, at work it sucks, even no matter what. It's
also, you usually have a dress shirt on too when you're at work, so it's that's the other part of it. That's
what does that mean? You gotta retuck it? You're saying
that type of thing. You just gotta be careful with the tucking and be careful with the whole situation. You gotta.
I don't think you gotta be careful as long as you fucking.
You gotta be on your P's and Q's. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think as long as you fucking wipe your ass good, you gotta be careful.
In general, shitting in public is a nightmare. I just can't stress that.
I think there's much worse than the work. I think situationally. Would
probably
be
when you're on a date.
I think out at this is a more younger man thing, but out at a party, a house party, That's fucking rough.
That's probably really
because
rough.
even at work, if someone clocks you, they're not going to be like, "Oh, Zach just took a shit, yo." You know what I mean? Like, if you're at like a house party and you like blow up a toilet, clog a toilet or something, you come out, someone catches you, they're like, "Yo, did you just fucking take a shit?" Like, everyone's clowning you, trying to like talk to your crush, and everyone's just like, "Yo, you got fucking toilet paper hanging out your ass," and you know, like that's rough. Or also like another one would be like an intimate, like almost now at an older age, like a dinner party, like where like you're meeting people for the first time. There's like 10 to 12
meeting
people there.
In-laws family, and you have to
think about that too. Like first time meeting your girlfriend's parents.
I have. All right, so I'll admit here, just we're talking about it. I have taken a shit at Christy's aunt and uncle's house before. I had to go. It was an emergency. It's the only time I've ever shit in any of her family's anything.
Yeah.
And I try to never do that, obviously, but like it had to happen. And we were drinking coquito, like which is like that fucking
the Puerto Rican.
And like I took a couple of them, and like my stomach just started fritzing, and I was like, "Uh oh, wow, this is really gonna go down right now." So I went in there, and it was like immediate, like sit done, like you know what I mean? Because I was like,
you gotta like sit and like poop and flush like all in one.
It was all one mechanism.
It's definitely
I don't know what to call that. There's got to be a word for that, but that is what happened.
It's got to be like a poop flush, wipe flush situation.
Literally, it was like the poop sound and flow of the sink. As if I pissed. It was all the way on the border that it only took about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. Like it's like as if I took a piss because
yeah, you got to be fast. You got to flush right away.
The whole thing is
you can't let it sit in the toilet while you're like wiping. You got to flush it immediately.
If it's a fucking bad type of shit and this is gross, but like it's more liquidy than hard, you can't like wait till the end. You got to be careful because once it goes through the door, that's a slide now. And it's like it's not one of those where it's like it can like maybe
you don't want it to stick to the wall. Then you got to use the little brush. And if they don't have a brush, you're like fucking
real man.
Yeah. No, you got to flush that. Literally, you like have a hand on the flusher while you're shitting, and then fucking send that shit. Hilarious. Like you want it to go down at the same time as it leaves your asshole right down the drain.
Conversation for the record for men that have this is what it is. This is what it looks like.
I think most men know this, but for the few that don't, take this with you. Don't let the shit sit in the toilet while you flush, because that stink is gonna fill the room quick.
The moment it hits the water, it's going down.
This is like when I said like I used to try to sniff up my own farts because I try to like limit how much smell was around when I was a little kid. This is like the growing up version of that. Like you don't let this, you got to get that smell out of the room as quick as possible.
Exactly.
And even if they hear, the only worry then is like if someone's waiting to hear both flushes, then they got you clocked too.
Or there's only one bathroom and everyone's waiting to use that bathroom.
But that's what I'm saying. If someone's like right outside the door and you flush, like they hear the first flush and then they hear the second flush, they know.
I would honestly just like I wouldn't be able to not. I'd be like I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would have to say something like I wouldn't.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep it moving. Where does Jokic rank among all-time centers? You said top five. I think I have him higher than that already. I think I got him in the top 3 and maybe higher, but I think comfortably top 3 right now with Shaq and Wilt.
He's not higher than Hakeem.
I mean, I don't know, dude. You look at his numbers and they're fucking insane.
Can't do it yet. I'm not doing that yet. Disrespectful, I feel like. I mean, I'm with you in a way because he's got the MVPs and he's just so fucking good. He already has a championship, but like, man, Hakeem, bro, I don't know. That's tough for me. And also,
the defense comes into play.
Yeah, Kareem is a guy.
Yeah, like, Kareem I had 2. I just have like right outside. I just think what he did, like those guys do stuff better than him. But no one even comes close. Anyone we named to what he does passing, and then what he's doing with assists.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, and then what he's doing with the 3-point shot. Like he's way beyond those guys.
The no-name European nothings and fucking Bogdanovich, and the guys carrying them all the way, almost beating the U.S. twice.
Yeah, and what I'm saying, like all these other guys, let's say Shaq, Wilt, Hakeem, Kareem, and like David Robinson. Are like the other guys you could put in this conversation as greatest centers. None of them could shoot threes.
Yeah.
None of them are averaging anywhere near the assists, and like none of them are probably shooting free throws at anywhere near the clip that he shoots.
David Robinson's top for me, by the way. You're one of the main reasons. 1988 is the reason why David Robinson will never be in my top 5 centers ever because
they fed him the ball to win the scoring title.
No, that's funny. But no, it's about the Olympics and how they got washed to the point where we needed to create a dream team so everyone realized how good the NBA was, because the team that he was on in '88 got fucking trounced. Okay, and so he's a great player. He developed into a great center over time, but he is not in the tier of Jokic or Hakeem or Shaq. Or I'm not David Robinson, nice player. I don't even put him higher than Patrick. Patrick was a better player than David Robinson. I will say this till I'm blue.
I don't know about that.
That's what I believe. I just think a nice player, great player, top 10 center ever, but he's just not in that tier with those guys. And I don't think Patrick's in that tier either, for the record. But I do have Patrick above David for me, and I have Hakeem still in the top 3 here because of skill on offense. He's the most skilled offensive big man in history, probably. And maybe Jokic is the guy that takes it from him from a passing perspective. I think you have a good argument there. But from a scoring perspective and dominating the post when the game was really playing physical defense and it was different and there were a lot of good centers,
I think you're slacking on David Robinson with like the blocks and rebounds versus Ewing. Like he was, leading the NBA in blocks, 4.5 blocks a game one year, 3.9 blocks a game.
He was the Dwight Howard-y jelly bean jumper. He's a great player. Great player. And Dwight Howard has a lot of great blocking stats too. He doesn't sit in those categories.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying versus Ewing, he's out blocking and rebounding Ewing, and the scoring is close. I think he's scoring more
over David Robinson.
Yeah,
you mean Dwight on Orlando over David Robinson? We get that.
I mean, we're talking about careers like greatest all times. I don't know. I think you're slighting David Robinson a little bit, and he's a champion.
He's a champion.
Which Patrick Ewing and Dwight Howard both are not.
And Tim Duncan's a champion. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Tim Duncan's a champion too, but David Robinson was the better player than Tim Duncan on probably the first championship team they won. David Robinson, I feel like
he was an older player then. That was the end of his career. He retired 2 years later.
You just said he was in college in '88.
No, that was not college. No, he was on the USA team as well.
No, because what changed is they had to involve NBA players. Right,
yeah.
So he was in college.
He got drafted. What year was it? 90? 89?
He got drafted 89, 90.
Yeah, okay.
So he was probably like 30 when they won that. I mean, he's got seasons, leading the NBA in points per game, and he has season leading the NBA in blocks per game. That's pretty fucking. There's very few people who have done that.
Still an all-timer. I just have.
Patrick Ewing's never led the NBA in points per game or blocks per game.
Like a medial friend. He never had Tim Duncan next to him. I don't know. If he had Tim Duncan next to him,
when he led the NBA in points per game and blocks per game, Tim Duncan wasn't there.
True.
So,
I hear you.
Yeah,
they didn't do shit with those teams. He won as many games as Patrick, maybe less.
I don't know.
And he's scoring those points. So it's empty points. Like, it's cool. We could talk about Kuzma averaging 24 points a game this year for the Wizards, whatever, and they don't win a fucking game. Like, I don't know. I'm not a hater. I just say that.
You lost the argument where you compared David Robinson to Kyle Kuzma.
I'm not comparing. What I'm saying is that, like, when we talk about stats, they have to mean something. Like, when you talk about his stats, they do mean something. It's why he's a top 10 player.
He's never won anything.
Yeah, I hear you.
So what? So his stats are all meaningless his whole career.
No, he was on the Olympic gold team in '92. So was David Robinson. So it's like they both share a lot of the same things. Besides, one had Tim Duncan to win a championship,
and one of them, like I said, is
led the league in blocks one time and led the league in points one time.
And overall, I think averages more blocks and points over the course of their careers.
But less rebounds, worse field goal percentage, probably.
No, not less rebounds. No, that's definitely wrong. What are you talking about? Less rebounds. You think Patrick Ewing out-rebounded David Robinson?
Who has more rebounds all time? Who's the all-time rebounder?
All-time or per game?
Both different stats. One's a longevity stat. The other one's more like a peak stat.
More points, rebounds. For the per game, more points, rebounds, assists, and blocks, all David Robinson.
Yeah, that's inarguable. Eye test for me, I like Patrick more. Okay.
Because you're a Knicks fan.
Player, better defender also. We're not even talking about defense. Like, you're talking about blocks.
He's not a better defender than David Robinson? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I thought Patrick was a great defender.
Yeah, and then one of them's a defensive player of the year.
Really? David won that?
Yes. 4.5 blocks a game. You think he's not going to win defensive player of the year?
Maybe.
He's Defensive Player of the Year once and second runner-up Defensive Player of the Year 3 times.
Oh, wow. All right, I got to give David his flowers. Shout out, David. I still got
Patrick Ewing was Defensive Player of the Year 5th in voting twice, 6th in voting once, 7th in voting once.
Yeah, that's not the same tier.
Patrick Ewing saying he's a better defender. Patrick Ewing was not a better defender than David Robinson. No way. We'll stop it there. And then next question. We're almost done. Oh shoot, I messed up my notes.
But yeah, to go back to the question about Jokic, he's close.
I like him top 3. I'm gonna go.
Top 3 is a little high for me right now, but I like top 5 right now.
I'll put him above Hakeem after Shaq and Wilt. Because I did say like he does. Wilt led the NBA in assists when he wanted to. He was that crazy good.
The guy that comes first is Wilt, not Kareem. We agree there. I love that take, first of all. I gotta shout that one out. But yeah, Shaq, Wilt are always going to be 1 and 2 for me too. It's just dominance, about dominance and just this position. And then the next 3 will always be for me right now until I see something else: Jokic, Hakeem, and Kareem. And that's it. And like Bill is
and
right there.
Then the next tier is David
Robinson,
Bill Russell, your boy on the Knicks, Patrick Ewing,
stuff like that. Yep.
All right, MLS or G League?
So you went MLS quick. Riding on buses and staying in motels versus like being a professional player. So came down straight to that. Like I'm a basketball guy. Obviously, I don't give a shit about soccer, but it's simply that I'm a professional athlete with professional things that I'm doing, and way different than just being a fucking run of the mill basketball player riding buses, playing in shitty gyms.
All right, most annoying subculture of human beings. You went MAGA. Yeah, I mean, I didn't vote for Donald Trump, straight up.
It's not even about voting. It's about the idea that most MAGAs are incapable of actually having thought. So, like, they don't think about their opinions. It's just the opinion is whatever my team says. And I don't like that because that feels like we're going against what human beings are all about, which is being thought-provoking and being people that can have multiple variety of opinions and disagree and agree and be civil about it instead of just blindly agreeing to everything because my team said that that's what I should agree with. That's what everyone does for the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and look where that's got them. So, sorry, John. But
no, you're good.
But in general, that is what you get when you placate and just say yes all the time to your master. You get
Yeah, it's going to be a long few years, and then I'm worried about them trying to get a third term.
Yeah, same.
Shit,
They're already going after women's rights. If you guys haven't heard, it's going to be like 70 million women because of their namesake that are not going to be eligible to vote. It's called the SAFE Act, if you've never heard of it. So anybody that changes their name on their birth certificate because they get married in our country, that includes white women out there, for all you dumb fucks out there. So a lot of you women, for example, if our buddy Rob and Tiffany get married and Tiffany takes Rob's name and that doesn't say it on her birth certificate, and during the next voting panel, she won't be eligible to vote. It won't match her birth certificate because of the birthright law. So that's a lot of.
I don't want to get. I honestly don't want to get into politics because.
Wait, what did I say?
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's a lot that I'm not
happy.
One
of the things people don't understand too. It's like I talk about. Even I was talking to one of my buddies about tariffs, and he's like telling me all about how tariffs are going to be great because we're inflicting them in other countries. I was like, really? I was like, did you know that if you have 1,000 T-shirts, now that every time you want to buy those T-shirts from China, and China it costs more for them to make those shirts, they're going to charge you more to get those shirts. So for the small businesses that want to acquire mass things from other countries, if it was $30 before, now it's going to be $50 because that's how the tariff works.
Yeah, because anyone who doesn't know, that's a fucking idiot. Consumers are the ones who bear the cost of tariffs because
it's like the simplest thing ever.
The importers have to pay the tariff.
Take on that extra cost from Trump that he's invoking on that country. No, they're
China,
just going to flip it back onto the consumer that buys all the products.
China doesn't pay any. The other countries don't pay the tariffs. It's the importers, the small businesses pay the tariffs.
Exactly. The country's just like, okay, you're going to charge us more for this, then we're just going to charge your people.
No, those countries don't pay anything more. They're
not paying anything more. That's what I'm getting at.
No, it's the importers in America, the small businesses, big business, anyone importing, let's say from China, they pay the tariffs.
They're paying
China
that tariff.
doesn't pay any money. We can't impose taxes on other countries. That's not how that works. We don't have any authority over what they, so we have our businesses, guys who are, let's say, my company, Sports Apparel. We get our container trucks from China. They're going to cost more money to make sure our margins don't fall.
Instead of like New Balance buying 10,000 white T-shirts to design with their New Balance logo, and for $2 million, it's going to cost them $5 million, $10 million.
No, you're just going. You're too much. But either way, whatever extra cost the importers pay, they're not going to get it from China. They're not going to be like, oh, we're paying you less now. China will be like, no. What changes is that they pay the same amount to China, then they incur the cost of the tariff, and then they charge their consumers or customers extra money. So whatever you are paying, the consumers pay the cost of the tariffs. And to be fair, Donald Trump himself said that China pays the tariffs, and just people listen and they're like, that's what he said. It's just stupid. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't want to get too political.
That is a cult.
Yeah, I don't want to get too political. I think everyone's like, I think the one big takeaway is everyone's like, we want to get the old politics out of there. We want new. These guys aren't politicians. Elon, Trump, whatever. But what I try to explain is that billionaires have been running the country for a while. They just had to hide behind campaign funding to the politicians, where there's at least some governor that not like a governor of the state, but like a governor on a car.
Governor on an engine.
Yeah, exactly. There's some governor there where they can't just, now we just let the wolves into the hen house. Like the billionaires are actually now elected and then hired by the elected officials to just do whatever they want. And, we'll see where it goes. Like, I don't think tearing everything down and starting over is necessarily the worst mentality, but if the people tearing everything down and building it back up are just going to do what's best for them, then we have no governor there now, like an engine's governor, to slow them down. The bad possibilities are endless, as well as the good possibilities. But then again, you're banking against greed and banking against self-interest, which is most likely always going to win out. But
and has already doomed this world time and time again. The same
exactly.
And by the way, just to read the room a little bit, like, we don't have to think too conjugal about like what Trump's going to do. We have seen his personality on Front Street, if you're a New Yorker, since the 70s, about how he treats humans, how he treats his labor, how he treats anything that touches him.
I think that these billionaires give a shit about the middle class is crazy.
Yeah, you want to have hope in a guy like Elon, who hasn't shown to be anything beyond the Nazi symbol thing, whatever the fuck that was. If you want to have a conversation about him having aspirations and having positive things for our future of a society, you can maybe lay on that leg, stand on that leg, because there really isn't a terrible rap sheet with him. But like, if you're trying to tell me all about how Trump is changing the world for the better and his rap sheet is completely abhorrent, it's like, the proof's in the pudding, and the pudding has been mildewed for 30, 40 years with this guy, beyond his personal businesses and failures and everything. So it's like, the concept that you're talking about of the possibility of positively getting out of this is like I said, you have to. It's room about what's about to happen.
It's naive to think that they're not going to serve their own self-interests.
Yeah. Like, that everything that's told me the last 40 years about this guy is he's gonna tear this all down and fuck everything up.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I think it's gonna be a rough few years, to be honest. I'm not happy with the. I mean, like I said, you could say, we're cutting this and cutting that, and it's like, all right, so you're taking away
all the time, like World War III. Like, you don't want World War III, but you're gonna invoke somebody that has.
You're taking away jobs from federal employees, and then where is that money going to go
with Russia into Europe?
Where is that money going to go? I don't know. I'm not. If you think that money is just going to be like, let's give it to the middle class, like I doubt it. The federal government employees who are getting cut are the middle class, You
know that all these cuts represent about 3%, or maybe even less, like 2.5% of the deficit. Most of the deficit is from the defense spending. All those things that they're cutting, all those 40,000 people that are getting unemployed now, it's for naught, because it doesn't even make a smidgen of a dent into what they're trying to make a dent into. It's all for geopolitical sphere of just cutting people for the sake of cutting people. It's asinine. No, who wants to have this. It's really
no, I don't want to have it either, to be honest. It's very like, I'm trying to, like we talk about it, I'm trying to not pay attention. It is. There's a governor in Illinois that I like. I think I'm gonna try to get behind him for the next election.
Pritzker. I know all about him.
Pritzker.
My last job, when we were opening up that factory, the battery factory, for my last job, like, he had to sign off on it. I actually got to like shake his hand and shit.
Oh, like, cool, yeah.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy, actually. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, no, he
He delivered that
dropped the
speech.
bomb.
I saw it. He was
Yeah,
very.
yeah.
Yep, I know. He's gonna run. He's gonna run.
Yeah, it looked like. I mean, that speech looked like a setup to run. You know,
He should run. They really don't
Yeah.
have anybody else that has steam, and you can't go with you can't go with someone mom and pop like AOC. Like, it's not gonna work. So like, what do? You got to get some gravitas in the party a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, we'll shut it down there though. After that was the trivia, which we went over pretty good. So fun show.
It's set up though. If you want to do a quick trivia one, it's an obvious one, so it's not that
Why
hard.
not? Yeah, we should end on the politics. We should cut that out.
So the one that I looked up was top points, total points all time for hockey. Top 11 guys.
Oh my God, I don't know. Fucking obviously Gretzky,
1,
Ovechkin.
11. That's why I said top 11. I knew you were going to
Okay.
say it. So 1 and 11 you'd have so far. It's sick.
Steve Yzerman.
7, dead center. This is cool.
Maurice Richard.
Not top 18.
All right, Gordie Howe.
4.
Was it Brett
So
Hull?
many Canadians on this list. It's disgusting.
Brett Hull? Something
Brett.
Hull? I don't know, man. I guess not. You don't have to keep searching if it's
Brett
not
Hull's
there.
25. American.
Oh, man. All right,
Right
so
ahead of-
what
right
do I
ahead
have
of
so
Mike-
far?
Right ahead of Mike Madonna. Legend.
I have Yzerman,
You have Yzerman. You
Gretzky.
said Ovechkin. Said Gretzky. Said Gordie.
Messier.
Number 3. What a legend.
So how many do I have total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far.
I guess I'll throw Crosby out there. He's been hurt a lot.
9,
Okay.
6.
I don't think this is right, but Fedorov,
No.
Shanahan.
No. We're obvious. There's a couple obvious that you haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that crazy a hockey fan. Anything's obvious besides the ones I said, I guess.
There's
all right.
2, I would say, for you that would be obvious, even for you. Everyone else is hard.
Gordie Howe.
One guy is an alliteration.
That's not doing anything for me. I mean, I got more than half. I'm feeling pretty good already.
Yeah, not bad at all.
I guess just give me teams and I'll try my best.
Penguins, I think, is one of them.
Penguins?
I think so. Is that right? Or
Bill Guerin? No, that can't be right.
yeah, Penguins legend.
Oh, Mary Lemieux.
Yeah, there you go. Number 8 all time after Yzerman.
Jaromir Jagr.
There you go. That's number 2 all time.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 I said that were
Okay,
obvious.
fair
You would
enough.
There's one more that I feel like you know. I mean, his name is so familiar to me, even. So that's why. I feel
Joe
like
Sakic.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, wow. Where to pull? He's number 10 all time. Yeah.
All right, so how many are left?
You have everyone besides one.
Besides 2.
Besides 2 of them. Number 5 and number 6 all time, actually.
What are
Let's
their?
see.
What? Give me hints. You can
Both
look at their page.
Canadians.
Both Canadians. Look at their page real quick.
That's what I'm going to right now.
Give me a team.
Pittsburgh for one of them.
Another Pittsburgh.
Early
Not
90s.
Bill Guerin.
Early 90s.
Not Bill Guerin.
No.
Pittsburgh.
That's one of them. So I'll go back now to the other guy. The other guy won the World Championship with Team Canada. Bronze 3 times with Team Canada.
NHL team.
Yeah, NHL profile, Detroit Red Wings.
I already said Yzerman and Shanahan and Fedorov. What the fuck else was there? All right, I give up. You got
So number 5 all time was Ron Francis, who won
not in a million years am I
he
getting.
won the Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh in 1991, the year we were born in 1992.
I was born in 90.
Oh,
Fair
you missed
enough.
the cutoff?
November.
Geezer. And then
November.
Marcel Dion
Yeah, no, never was getting
was
it.
the number
All right.
2 overall pick by the Detroit Red Wings.
I'm happy with that. That was solid.
Fucking solid. That 10 out of 12. That was 9 out of 11.
Yeah, not bad.
That was fire. Nice.
Hey.
I said it was a good one to end on because I knew it was going to be kind of
Yeah, it would suck to end with the politics. Yeah.
yeah.
We have to cut that shit out.
Fuck yeah. So, but we'll be back next week, getting back in the thick of things. You see the Mets across the shirt. We all saw Soto's homer in his.
Oh yeah, fucking that was sick.
Whatever. Yeah, he's hitting it off your local janitor. No one gives a shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, he's even shaking his head up and down after the first fastball. That asshole throws him an outside fastball again. Like, yeah, that's a good idea. Best hitter. Yeah, really smart. But we'll be back next week. Hotheads, Dreamer, Sixers. Always a pleasure.
Peace.
Be good.